Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU8 Sports.
Welcome, everybody, to Gainesville, Florida, home of the Swamp and the Florida Gators, who hosted their homecoming, Ethan, but the Missouri Tigers, the school that invented homecoming, they know how to spoil one as well.
Yeah, they do, Cam. Credit all around, credit to where it's due for this Missouri Tigers team. Offensive line played great. And how about Drew Lock? Especially that 3rd and 6, I believe it was, that scramble that he had in the fourth quarter, that's going to be looked at as like a defining moment in his career. He comes here, number 13 Florida, he beats them on their home field, and on top of that too, he must have really, really wanted this win, especially what happened last week against Kentucky at home.
No kidding. Many wondered how Missouri would get over the last second, not even last second, 0 seconds on the clock play against the Kentucky Wildcats last week, but they bounced back just fine. Here's a stat on Drew Lock: 2 touchdowns, 7 turnovers in his conference opponent against conference opponents this season. Not until today. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was on his A game, like you said. Ethan, what do you think was different for Missouri coming out today? Why did they have so much energy, and how did they get off to such a fast start?
Well, I think for one, whenever you lose such a heartbreaker like they did last week at home against Kentucky, that's going to stick with you forever. Paul Adams even told us that in the locker room. He still thinks about this in the postgame. Paul Adams said he still thinks about that loss against Kentucky, but it's a new week. You got to prepare. Sure enough, the Missouri Tigers did just that here against Florida. Drew Lock was money on just quick throws out there to the slots, especially Jonathan Johnson with some big catches as well. Emmanuel Hall back in here, his first game since September 22nd against Georgia. Overall, the Missouri offense right now look pretty whole for the time being.
And Florida, how about them as well? It's a team that was trying to avenge a loss in front of a homecoming crowd, but they looked a little flat. They got eliminated last week from SEC East contention against Georgia. Why were the Gators so slow coming out of the gates today?
Well, you brought up those. You brought up on the drive down here. This could probably be how motivated are they going to be for this game, because we talked about the loss against Georgia in Jacksonville, I believe it was. That loss. It's not their home crowd, but still the split. A neutral site game, always a big game whenever it's a neutral site game. But on top of that, you look and see, they're not SEC East champions anymore. They cannot be. Georgia won today, so they're now the new champions. But on top of that, what you have to look at is that you have to say to yourself, are they going to be motivated to win this game? It's their homecoming game and all that. Clearly, they must have been motivated, but clearly the Missouri team just played better.
Well, I'll tell you, Missouri was motivated, and that was in large part due to Emmanuel Hall returning from injury after all he's gone through, death of a father, groin injury, and he really provided a spark.
He did. He caught Drew Lock's touchdown pass, which on top of that, actually, interesting stat about that, the touchdown pass he caught put Drew Lock in 3rd place alone on the SEC all-time quarterback pass touchdown rate. Speaking of Emmanuel Hall, he actually addressed, the tough senior year he's having right now. He addressed all of this in the postgame. Take a listen.
God's got a plan for everybody, and I'm just beyond blessed to be out here and playing this game. And at the end of the day, you still got to take care of your business because the world doesn't stop. Today or tonight, we put it together. Be able to perform after all that other stuff that's been going on, it's awesome.
Missouri returns home next week to face off against Vanderbilt. A win would make them bowl eligible. Live in Gainesville with my partner Ethan Illers, Edward Redler, KOMU8 Sports.